Welcome to another video on our Visual BI extensions. This time we will take a look how to install and configure the extensions. The installation contains 4 steps. Step 1 is downloading the required software. Step 2 is installing it to Design Studio client. Step 3 is about registering the software. And step 4 is about the deployment to your BusinessObjects server. Let's start with the step number 1, which is about downloading the needed software. As part of your registration, you received an email which contains several links. You can download the extensions for Design Studio 1.4 or 1.5 or 1.6. You can download the installer and the export module. The second half of your email contains the license information, and it contains information where you can find more information, such as the documentation and how you can reach out to our support organization. Here's the information about the files. Overall, you have 4 files. One file for Design Studio Release 1.4 or 1.5, one for Design Studio Release 1.6, the file for the export configuration, and the registration of the software, which is the setup file. You should also have the installation guide and your license details. In case you want to set up Design Studio for a multi-user environment, please follow the steps outlined in the SAP note mentioned here before you install our extensions. This is very important. This needs to be configured before you install the extensions. So let's start with the installation by installing the extensions to your BusinessObjects Design Studio client. Here we are on the system, and as you can see, we downloaded the 4 files, and we will start by going into the Design Studio client. We navigate to the menu Tools, and we'll choose the option to install extensions. Here we can now point to the file. Make sure you select the file for your Design Studio release. We then click OK to start the installation, and we can choose which category of the extensions we would like to install. Then we go to the next step. We just get a list of items that will be installed, and we can click Next. We get a confirmation. We're going to get the software agreement. We accept it and go to the next step. Then we're being asked to accept the certificate from Visual BI. We click OK, and now the extensions are being installed. And we being asked to restart, we click on No, and we close Design Studio, as we first of all need to register the software as a next step. So here we are. We installed the extensions to the Design Studio client. As a next step, we will register our software with the license keys. Remember, we downloaded the file setup.zip. We unzip it into its own folder, and we have now the VBX setup executable, which we will run. And as a first step, we're being asked to confirm the license agreement. So we confirm the license agreement and go on to the next step. Here is where you fill out the details received in the email. And after you entered those details for your license, we can then move on to the next step. In the next step, you will be asked to provide the folder where you installed Design Studio. After doing so, we go to the next step. We are shown the items that will be activated. We click Next, and as you can see, the items are being activated based on your provided license. As a final step, we can close the registration process. So now let's take a look at the last step, which is deploying the extensions to your SAP BusinessObjects server. So we're going to start a Design Studio, and this time it's important that we're logging on with a user to the BusinessObjects server. So we're logging on, in this case, with an administrator account, entering the password, and going to start Design Studio. Inside Design Studio, we're then going to the menu Tools, and we're going to the item Platform Extensions. On the left hand side, we can see all the extensions we installed on the desktop, and we can then select them all in one go and use the menu Install on Platform. After a short while, the extensions will show up on the right hand side, and we can close this dialog. We're then closing Design Studio, and the only step that is now left to do is to restart the services for Design Studio on your BusinessObjects server. In my case, I'm restarting the Server Intelligence agent, and as soon as it's running again, we can start using our extensions as part of the Design Studio client and as part of the SAP BusinessObjects BI platform. I would like to say thank you for listening to me and taking a look at our components. And in case you have further questions, feel free to reach out to us.